Hello students, welcome to Rushmi's classes. Today we'll discuss on Class 11 Biology. Chapter 11, Transport in Plants. Translocation refers to the process of transport in plants via xylem and phloem. It includes the transport of water, minerals, and solutes. Means of transport. Plants have three primary modes of transportation. Diffusion is the most common mode of plant transport. It is defined as the movement of molecules from a high concentration region to a low concentration region without the use of energy. As a result, diffusion is a passive process. The rate of diffusion is affected by the concentration gradient, temperature, and pressure. Facilitated diffusion is a transport process facilitated by proteins known as permeases. It is a passive process as well. Transport reaches its maximum when all of the protein available for transport is saturated. It is a specific process that only allows certain molecules to pass through. Porins and aquaporins are proteins that aid in the process of facilitated diffusion. Porins are pores found in cell organelles such as mitochondria and plastids, as well as in some bacteria. Aquaporins are water channels that transport molecules of water. The following process can result in facilitated diffusion. Symport, the transport of multiple molecules in the same direction. Antiport, the movement of molecules in the opposite direction. Uniport, the movement of single molecules in any direction. Note, recreated above diagram. Active transport in plants. The transport of molecules necessitates the expenditure of energy. It can transport solutes from a low concentration region to a high concentration region and vice versa. Active transport is facilitated by membrane proteins. It is a specific mode of solute transport. Note, recreated above diagram. Plant-water relations. Water is required for the growth of plants. However, too much or too little water is harmful to the plants. The process by which terrestrial plants lose some of their water from their aerial parts in the form of water vapor is known as transpiration. Water potential. Water potential is a measure of water's potential energy. The water potential of the cell is determined by solute potential and pressure potential. The highest water potential is found in pure water. Water always moves from a higher to a lower water potential. The potential of water is denoted by the symbol psi or psi. Pascals are the unit of measurement for water potential. When a solute is added to pure water, the water potential falls to a negative value. This is referred to as solute potential. It is denoted by the symbol psi. S. Water potential increases when pressure exceeds atmospheric pressure in the case of pure water. Water moves from a region of high water potential to a region of low water potential, or from a dilute solution to a concentrated solution, as shown in the diagram above. When water enters the plant cell, pressure builds up against the cell wall, making it more turgid. This increases the potential for pressure. As a result, the following is the relationship between water potential psi, solute potential psi s, and pressure potential psi p. Psi equals psi p psi s. Osmosis. It is defined as the process of water molecules moving across a semi-permeable membrane. The movement of water is influenced by the concentration gradient and the pressure gradient. Water molecules move until an equilibrium is reached between the two solutions. Osmotic pressure is the pressure applied to prevent the net movement of solute molecules across the membrane. Osmosis is required for the movement of molecules across membranes such as ions, proteins, and polysaccharides. Plasmolysis. The behavior of plant cells in relation to the external medium is subject to change. If the osmotic potential of the plant cell matches that of the external medium, the solution is said to be isotonic. The solution is said to be hypertonic if the osmotic potential is greater outside the cell than inside the cell. When the solute potential inside the cell is greater than the solute potential outside the cell, the solution is said to be hypotonic. A hypertonic solution causes water molecules to move outside the cell. The cell is now referred to as flaccid. When a cell is immersed in hypotonic solution, water moves within the cell. The cell is described as turgid. Plasmolysis is the process by which protoplasm shrinks away from the cell wall when a plant cell is kept in hypertonic solution. Water moves out of the cell as a result of being immersed in a hypertonic solution. This is referred to as plasmolysis. Imbibition. Imbibition refers to the absorption of water by solids, which causes them to expand in size. The most common example of imbibition is the swelling of raisins when kept in water. This is regarded as diffusion because water moves from high concentration to low concentration, i.e. along the concentration gradient. Long-distance transport of water. Long-distance water transport is the quickest mode of water transport. Water, food, and minerals are typically moved by bulk flow or mass flow. Mass flow occurs between two pressure-differentiated solutions. Translocation refers to the movement of substances through the vascular tissues of plants. Xylem and phloem are vascular tissues. Xylem aids in the movement of water molecules from the roots to various parts of the plant. Phloem facilitates the movement of food from the leaves to other parts of the plant. Different pathways of water absorption. Water is absorbed by plants through their roots. Root hairs are responsible for the absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Water moves from the roots to various parts of the plant via two different pathways. These routes are as follows. Apoplast pathway. It is concerned with the movement of water in non-living plant parts such as intercellular spaces and cell walls. This pathway is disrupted by the endodermis. Endodermis is protected from water movement by Casparian strips. It does not entail the movement of water across the cell membrane. Symplost pathway. It is the movement of water through protoplasts via cell-to-cell connections known as plasmodesmata. It aids in direct cytoplasm-to-cytoplasm movement. This process is slower than the apoplastic pathway of water movement. Some plants, such as pinus, have different structures for water absorption called mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza are fungal associations that occur between fungi and the roots of higher plants. It is a symbiotic relationship between the fungus and the plant roots. The fungal hyphae aid in the absorption of mineral ions and water from the soil, whereas the roots supply sugars and N-containing compounds to plant roots. Water movement up the plant. Root pressure occurs when ions present in the soil are actively transported into the vascular tissues of the roots, resulting in positive pressure inside the roots. Transpiration pull occurs when ions present in the soil are actively transported into the vascular tissues of the roots, resulting in positive pressure inside the roots. This pressure is referred to as the root pressure, and it is responsible for the upward movement of water. When a stem is cut horizontally from the base, root pressure is measured. From the cut stem, a liquid will ooze out. The effect of root pressure can also be seen at night. Excess water in the form of water droplets is observed near the tips of the leaves when the rate of evaporation is low. This is referred to as guttation. The driving force for water's upward movement is transpiration pull. Dixon and Jolly proposed the cohesion tension theory to explain the upward movement of water in plants. The attraction between water molecules is referred to as cohesion. The attraction between water molecules and other polar molecules is referred to as adhesion. Surface tension is another property that promotes transpiration pull. The attraction between water molecules in liquid phase is referred to as surface tension. Water is lost during transpiration, causing a negative pressure in the xylem vessels. This is referred to as transpiration pull. Transpiration. Transpiration is the loss of water from leaves in the form of water vapor through stomata. Stomata are small openings in the leaves that open during the day and close at night. Factors influencing transpiration. Elevated temperatures increase the rate of transpiration. A larger surface area increases the rate of evaporation, high humidity decreases the rate of evaporation, and wind speed increases the rate of evaporation. Mineral nutrient absorption and transport. Minerals are absorbed by plants both passively and actively. The majority of the transport occurs actively because ions are charged and cannot cross the membrane without expending energy. ADP is used to provide energy. Sucrose, the end product of photosynthesis, is transported from the source, where synthesis occurs, such as leaves, to the sink, organs that store food. Food or sucrose transport is bidirectional, as opposed to water transport, which is unidirectional. For sugar translocation from source to sink, the pressure flow hypothesis, mass flow hypothesis, or Munch hypothesis was proposed. This happens through the phloem. Sieve tubes, companion cells, and phloem parenchyma make up phloem. Food is actively moved from source to sink via sieve tubes and companion cells. Sugars move through the phloem starting at the source, where they are loaded into a sieve tube. The loading in sieve tubes produces a hypertonic environment, which allows water to enter the phloem. Because of the high osmotic pressure at the source, the food/sucrose moves towards the sink, with low osmotic pressure. As a result, it is possible to conclude that osmotic pressure drives the movement of food from the source to the sink. Thanks for watching, please like, share and subscribe.